Hello again girls, welcome to another video. Today's objective is surface area of prisms, but before we start, another starter for 10. Pause the video, give yourselves 10 minutes and the answers will be coming up afterwards. Okay, so here we have the answers. For question 1, it's worth 1 mark. All we needed to say is that the rule is we decrease by 7 because from 6 to -1 we take away 7, from -1 to -8 we take away 7. So this is the rule, decrease or -7. For question 1 again, we are decreasing 140 by 23%. What we should remember is we take that 23 from 100 to find out what value of the amount we have left. And that's 77, which we turn into a decimal, 0.77, and times that by 140 to give us 107.8. Now our second mark will come from rounding to two significant figures. We do that by counting the first 2 digits, the 1 and then the 0, and then we decide by using the next digit, which is the 7, whether the 0 stays the same or it rounds up. And indeed it will round up because 7 is greater than 5, so the answer will be 110. For question 2, finding the sum of the internal angles of an octagon, we have to use this formula, which I hope you've all remembered. N minus 2, the number of sides, minus 2, times by 180. Remember, this comes from the triangles that we can chop that shape up into. An octagon has 8 sides, so we do 8 minus 2, which is 6, times that by 180. If we do that on our calculator, we should get 1080. Question 3, we are looking at the midpoint, and we should remember that to find the midpoint, we add the x values together and divide by 2, and then we add the y values together and divide by 2. So you can have a mark for remembering the formula and then applying it here. So the x values were 0 and 4, we add them together, divide by 2, we get an x coordinate of 2 for the midpoint, and then for the y values, 1 plus 9 is 10, divided by 2 gives us 5. So the midpoint of that line is 2, 5, and you can have a mark for each coordinate that you got correct. And then finally, question 4 was just substituting those values in the right place. When we have 2 letters next to each other, we multiply. So AB means 3 times 4, and then we add that to 3 times -2. Our next line of working, if we stick to the bracket, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times -2 will give us -6, 12 add -6 becomes 12 minus 6, which is 6. 4 times 6 is 24. So give yourselves a mark out of 10. Here I have a cuboid. We want to find the surface area of this cuboid, which means finding the area of each of its faces. To do this, we can think about the net of this shape, which will make it much easier. So if I unfold this shape here, you can see that our cuboid is made up of 6 different faces. 3 pairs of equal faces. We have the red, which is a pair, the green, and the black. And if we fold it back up, we can see that the green makes the top and the bottom of our cuboid, the red, the front and the back, and the black, the 2 sides. And if you remember from year 7, we can use this to help us find the surface area of our cuboid. So last lesson, you looked at finding the volume of this shape. Now we're going to find the surface area. Here we have our cuboid. What we want to do now is find the 3 pairs of faces and draw them out with the dimensions on, so it makes it easy to work out the area of all of the sides and to make sure that we've got them all. So first of all, let's take the front and the back. It's this face here and this face here. It's going to write out front and back, draw it out, and we can see that the length is 3 and the height is 4. So there are dimensions for the front and the back. Let's have a look at the top and the bottom. This face here and this face here. Well, the top will be 3 because this part's 3, so this will also be 3. So let's draw that out. there, and the length of it here will be the same as this length here, so that it will be 6. So this is our top and bottom with our dimensions there. And then finally, we're going to look at the two sides, this face and this face, which is 6 by 4. So our sides are 6 by 4. Once you've got your 3 pairs, you can then work out the area of each of these rectangles. Length times width, remember? So 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 6 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. Now we know that we have 2 of each face. So what we need to do to these values here is double them. So if we have 2 of these, this becomes a total of 24. 2 of these, a total of 36. And 2 of these, a total of 48. So our surface area of our cuboid is the total of these 3 digits here. 24 and 36 and 48. If we add those up together, 36, 40, 60, 108. And if our units are centimetres, the answer would be 108 centimetres squared. Now try to answer this question by using the method I've just shown you. Pause the video and have a go. Let's have a look at this one then. So, as you can see, I've prepped. I've got my front and back, top and bottom, side and side ready so I can fill my shapes in. So let's take the front and the back. This face here is the same as the face of the back, and we've got length and width of 3 each. So I'm going to draw that square out, and I can calculate that as 9 centimetres squared. My top and bottom is this here, which is the same as what's underneath, which is 3 by 2. So I can draw that out, 3 by 2, which gives me 6 centimetres squared. And then finally the two sides, the height is 3, the length is 2 for here and here. So again, we have another 3 by 2, which gives me 6 centimetres squared. And remember to double each of those because there's 2 of each side. So 9 doubled would give us 18. 6 doubled gives us 12. And another 6 doubled gives us 12. So 18 add 12 is 30. Add the 12 is 42 centimetres squared. Remember, we also have this formula to help us work out the surface area of a cuboid. Now try these in your book. Using the method I've shown you, I'll put the answers on the screen afterwards, so pause the video now. So we can use our method of thinking about the net of a shape to work out the surface area for any type of prism. Here I have a triangular prism, and we can use the same method by looking at the different sides to work out the surface area. As you can see here, this shape has 5 sides. It has 2 pairs of sides, a front and back, and then a base. So when we're using our method, we just need to be careful that we have all of our sides in our workings. Let's go through one together. Here's the question I'm going to go through now. If you feel confident, pause the video first and have a go. Here we have a triangular prism. We have a front and a back, which will both be triangles. And it has a base of 12 and a height of 8. We know that our triangular prism also has 2 equal sides here. So we can draw that out side and side, which has dimensions 7 by 10. 7 by 10. And then we need to remember that a triangular prism only has 5 sides. So we are going to calculate the area of the base, which is the bit at the bottom here, 12 by 7. We then go through the same method as we did with our cuboid. So we work out the area of each of our sides. So the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So 8 times 12 divided by 2, 96 over 2, 48 centimetres squared. Let's have a look at the sides. We have a rectangle here, 10 times 7 is 70 centimetres squared. And then for our base, 12 times 7, which is 84 centimetres squared. So when we go to add them up, we need to think how many of these sides are there of each. We have a front and a back, so we need to double this one. It's back to 96 to get the value of both sides. Again here, we've got a side and a side, so we need to double this value here to get 140, but we only have one base. So we just add this value here to 84, okay? So when we add them all up together, we get 320 centimetres squared. Now pause the video and see if you can do this one by yourself. Here are some more questions for you to have a go at for the end of the lesson. Take a picture of your workings and send them to me so I can see how you get on. I'll put the answers next so you can mark your work. So that's the end of today's lesson, girls. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, send me a message on Show My Homework or email, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.